Burnley 1, Aston Villa 3. Aston Villa pick up an away win at Turf Moor and ultimately move back into 11th with still a few more games to play in hand. Overall today, very, very comfortable from Aston Villa. Nothing really to worry about, apart from seeing the late goal at the end from Cornet, which was just complete lack of concentration, really. The Villa boys probably just thought the game was in the back of our hands already. We don't really need to push us anymore. They're not going to test us anymore. And ultimately, they go on to concede that relay goal, which is really disappointing because it would have been another good clean sheet. But ultimately, 3 points at a place where, apart from winning there 2 years ago, we hadn't won in 54 years or something. Um, and as I said today, just completely comfortable. Goals from Danny Ings in the 7th minute, really nice play there from Buendia, starting Buendia in that middle role. Ultimately, getting the pass through to Danny Ings and able to bury it in the bottom corner. We've got, who else? We've got Buendia scoring a goal, a lovely ball in from Digne in the middle of the box, able to just tap that in for 2-0. And then Ollie Watkins getting another goal as well, a heading goal from a beautiful cross in. And ultimately securing the game there at 3-0. All our forward players getting goals and ultimately giving us the 3 points that we've needed. As I say, it was comfortable because there wasn't really much else, much exciting in the game really. Because obviously we were just completely outplaying Burnley for football. Burnley, they're going to match you with that physicality. They're always going to go for it. And there were times throughout the first 20, 30 minutes where Burnley were just piling on the pressure, really trying to mount a physical attack onto us. But ultimately, we kept our shape, we kept our defence really strong, and just made ourselves imposing against Burnley. And the best way to play against Burnley is to just show your quality with the ball, just outplay them, and that's what we did today. And yeah, it's nice to see the team changes as well. Obviously, Chambers coming in because of no Jacob Ramsey. Buendia coming in instead of Coutinho, which was what people have been asking for weeks. Buendia gets that start, gets an assist for the Danny Ings goal throughout the whole game before he's subbing off. Looks really good in that role. Really can see a bit more creativity coming through that midfield when the likes of Coutinho does go missing. But then it's also because of Chambers playing. I know on the stream we were watching, they had him playing as another centre half in a 5-man defence when actually he was playing in that CDM role, allowing Douglas Luiz to push up more, and he felt more involved in the game. He felt like he was a player that I was actually noticing on the pitch a bit more, because there was times where he was springing the ball across and he was actually outside of our own half and pushing forward more. And I thought Ings did really well again, closing down a lot more. Obviously, could have been 2-0 up before his first goal with that chance in the opening 2 minutes that he probably should have buried a little bit better. But it was nice to see him get involved. Watkins as well, pressing them down, really showing a bit of urgency to go and get that ball. And as I said, having Buendia in there as well. When Coutinho goes missing, there's just that little bit of fresh creativity going into the pitch, and also that attacking threat that he brings as well, that a lot of people seem to forget about Buendia. And then obviously substitutions-wise, Chuck Wemeka coming on for like the first time in ages. I thought he looked really good when he came on, really intense, driven to get the ball, a nice shot on goal I think he had at one point. But you could see in those 20, 30 minutes that he had, he was clearly trying to set some sort of impression, whether that is to be moved on to a new club or whether it is to try and somehow get a contract signed. He's shown his intent that this is what I can bring to the team. You've just got to play me a bit more, and that's what you're going to get. And I thought he did really well to come on. Perhaps something we're going to need against Liverpool on Tuesday, a bit of younger, fresher legs, so we can actually just go at Liverpool, because that's the best way we're going to beat them. Coutinho coming on for Buendia didn't really need to happen, did it? We don't really need Coutinho at that point. Could have just brought on Traore, or maybe even Joshua. If somebody needs a bit more minutes, like a Traore would have been the perfect option there. Give him some minutes. He's clearly probably not going to be in next season. So give him some minutes, let him at least develop some fitness and give him some buyers, essentially. And then Ashley Young coming on as well for Ings, which is fine. Just shows up the defence a little bit, and also just gives us some rotation with Bailey being out as well. But ultimately, there's not much to this game. I know they did concede the goal at the end. Wasn't really... It was just lack of concentration, really, because they already knew the game was over. But apart from that, nothing much happened. A bit of time wasting throughout the whole game. Don't really get why, considering we're not at a point where we need to time waste. We're not a team that needs to be time wasting a lot. We're the team that should be going forward and getting the win. Whereas Burnley also need the win because they're still in the relegation battle, and now because they haven't won, Everton's still got two games in hand. There's still a good chance for bringing Leeds and Burnley's well into the relegation battle. So, but it was just comfortable today, completely comfortable, and it's the calm before the storm on Tuesday. Liverpool at home. It's going to be much tougher this time round. I know we got lost 1-0 away from home in a really battling display. But as I said, we're going to have to go at Liverpool. We're going to have to hit them with intensity. We're going to have to match them in playing that attacking style football for the 90 minutes. We've also got to make sure defensively we stay solid. So I think we'll probably end up sticking with the same team. Maybe bring Nakamba and potentially for Callum Chambers to play more naturally solid defensive midfielder. Keep Buendia in there. Will we see Coutinho? Who knows? But as I said, it's just preparing ourselves, getting that winning mentality in place, so that when we go there on Tuesday, we're in the right frame for what we want to see on there. And that's ultimately my instant reaction for this game. Burnley 1, Aston Villa 3. Let me know in the comments down below who you thought was your player man of the match. What you thought about today's performance. If I had to say a man of the match today, I thought Mings looked really short today. I thought Konsa was quite sloppy at times. The one point where he just gives the ball away. Right, not 18 yards, and they nearly end up scoring from McNeil. Really poor from him. I like Douglas Luiz today a lot more. Buendia as well, but I'm going to go with Mings. I just think defensively he really stopped and nullified Weghorst and Barnes. And ultimately really shored up that defensive line. So yeah, leave it in the comments down below. On to Tuesday next, Villa at home for Liverpool. Let's hope Villa can end the season off with a big result. Who knows? But up the Villa, with the pride of Villa. We'll see you next time, boys.